welcome to the album man. I know this has been a while, has been way too long since I put out a video. I think maybe 10 days at this point, 9 to 10 days, which, god damn, that's a while, but I was very busy and had copyright strikes to deal with, which I'll be making a whole video about my experience with a copyright strike. Well, if you know, when I have more info to talk about it, or if I talk about it on my Facebook page, if you're interested. Anyway, today we are talking about Adrenaline Mob's Men of Honor. Now, Adrenaline Mob were a supergroup that were put together by Mike Portnoy after he left Dream Theater, or was fired from Dream Theater, whichever way you want to look at it, in 2011. And his debut album, Omerta, released in 2012, was considered by most to probably be the greatest, most innovative and influential metal record since Black Sabbath's debut. Or it may have been widely regarded as a piece of generic commercial shit. So, you know, you can make your mind up on that one. Still, there was someone who did genuinely come to the defence of this album, and that was me. I have to say, I gave it quite a high mark. In retrospect, I wouldn't have given it as high a mark. But you see, in the past 2 years since Omerta came out, I have to say my musical tastes have changed, and Omerta is not something I found myself often going back to, except for the fantastic Duran Duran cover featuring Lizzie Hale. That's such a good song, it really is. But now, Mike Portnoy left the band, he jumped ship and was replaced by AJ Perro, who a former Twisted Sister drummer, and not a band I particularly care for, Twisted Sister. So the rest of the members, if you're unaware, you're new to this supergroup, are Russell Allen, Symphony X, on vocals, Mike Orlando from on guitar, John Moyer from that band with that guy who should go down a hole, aka Disturbed, and on bass. So let's see, you know, let's have a look at what will happen on this album. Will this album be a progressive electronic post-jazz album? Will we find that? Or are we more likely to find some fairly standard rock? Well, you know, it's up in the air. I'm not sure which, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out together which it is going to be. So, it starts out with The Mob is Back. And The Mob is Back, I mean, lyrically, it's such a meaningful song. I mean, I actually cried when I first heard the song. It just had such an impact on me, telling me how The Mob were back. I mean, just what a powerful message. What a powerful message that conveyed. It definitely touched something deep inside. Now, I'm just going to stop trying to make this album out to be something meaningful. This song really is just to tell you that A-Mob are back. Wow, what a surprise, because if they weren't, well then we wouldn't be talking about the new album, and there wouldn't be a new album to talk about, so this video wouldn't exist and I wouldn't be saying anything, so what a great video that would be. Yeah, I mean, this intro, it's actually pretty cool, with AJ Perro showing off his drumming chops and, you know, a bit of guitar wails from Mike Orlando, some cymbal crashes. All sounds kind of nice, gives that sort of live opening sounds to it. And then Mike proceeds to play a good old foot-stomping riff. You know, it's not amazing, but it's decent, you know, you can stomp your foot to it. But when Russell comes in, it reminds you of something. It's like, what's he doing with that? And it's like, no, you know, he's surely not. And then, as the song goes on, you realise more and more, it's like, god damn, he's trying to be Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. And this song so reminds me, and it's reminded other people as well, of Bend It to the Ground from the Dark Horse album from Nickelback. And that was after their All the Right Reasons albums and when they started to become completely irrelevant. Still, this song, it's all about going to a concert, which is a theme I often hate, as it's usually presented in such a boring and obvious, obnoxious way, and it's just bad. The exception is the Magnum song Sacred Hour. That's a fantastic song about a live show, but that's because Magnum are good. So yeah, not great, not good start, and then we get Come On Get Up. Oh dear God. Oh wow, this obnoxious opening with Russell shouting, I heard you took one in your face, and then telling you to come on, get up. It's all about fighting, you know, having a good old fight, because street fighting definitely isn't the lyrical quality of an angry 12-year-old that just wants to punch shit. No, it's very adult orientated album. This is defo. And I hate the overbearing macho style that these songs tend to have, and Russell's voice particularly puts on that macho, you know, I'm a man type voice and starts shouting everything. It's just like, just calm yourself down, just let the adrenaline levels fall, let them fall. Even though you're on a band called Adrenaline Mob, but still. And then the solo, honestly, I think it sounds like absolute shit, the solo in this song. It really does. I mean, Michael Landau has a habit, it's one of these guitarists of the school of, let's overuse the wah-wah until you want to cut your ears off. Wah-wah is a beautiful effect. It really is one of my absolute favourites, but not when you use it every 2.5 goddamn seconds like Kirk Hammett. It gets on my nerves when guitarists use it badly. You know, an example of how to use wah-wah well, look at Joe Bonamassa particularly, Slash as well. How to not use it too well, look at Kirk Hammett, Zakk Wylde, you know. And this guy takes more from the school of Zakk Wylde, I have to say. He's bloody addicted to death. Yeah, this song, Come On Get Up, it's bland, it's unoriginal, possesses about as much creativity as One Direction do talent. And after that abomination, we actually have something half decent. Yeah, I have to say, Dearly Departed is a pretty good song, actually. This track just shows a little bit more personality to it than we've seen before. It has a strong, very catchy chorus, some solid guitar work with a cool riff, and a genuinely good guitar solo, even if its ending feels just that little bit abrupt. I mean, it's certainly nothing spectacular, but for commercial modern hard rock, it's one of the better songs out there. I mean, if you compare it to a band like Theory of an Irrelevant Band, you know, I'm sure you all know them or know who I mean. It's better. It's, yeah, as I said, it shows a bit of personality, got a bit of a vibe, bit of a groove going on to it. It's decent, listenable, very, very listenable song. Behind These Eyes, now, this is the type of radio-friendly song that if it came on the radio, you'd enjoy for a little while. You wouldn't, you know, when the DJ said, and this was Adrenaline Mob with Behind These Eyes, you wouldn't ever go into Google when you got back and type in Adrenaline Mob. You just think, that was an okay song, that was not too bad. And this is that. This really is just the sort of stereotypical 80s style power ballad you'd find from a cheesy hair metal bands like, say, Cinderella. This really is I would say, Adrenaline Mob's Cinderella moment, and I quite like Cinderella. Cinderella do this better though, they do. I have to say, I've a soft spot for cheesy power ballads. I do enjoy them. I always think they're a good bit of fun, and this really is a good bit of fun. I mean, you know, the acoustic guitar and vocals don't do anything to distinguish itself from other songs of this style, and I mean, this used the same type of instrumental progressions, you know, the builds in the same places as many other songs in this style. It adheres to all the same conventions and song structures, but it has a nice chorus, it's fun to sing along to, no more than that really. Let It Go. Decent. It's decent. I can't help but have a fondness of these big commercial rocks. And as I've said, I've always had a soft spot for commercial rock. I have. The one thing that does make this band stand out, say, to Disturbed, Nickelback, is that all the big catchy choruses do have something slightly more interesting than this banging thing's annoying me. Slightly more interesting, and definitely a greater musical musical ability technically than them. I mean, Mike is a solid guitarist, not a great one. No, I've criticised him before. And I have to say, AJ Pero, I really enjoy his drumming on this album. It's probably the strongest part. Yeah, he's probably putting the strongest performance. And I mean, Mike Portnoy, in my opinion, he is still the greatest drummer of all time. I was not very impressed with his performance on the last album. But he definitely has redeemed himself since then with Winery Dogs. Yeah. So, this song, Let It Go, as I said, it's decent, but what you really expect. And then Feel the Adrenaline, this was one of the singles off the album. It's about driving fast, you know, all that type of manly, macho shit, basically. And I'm sick of these, these commercial rock bands. They have a habit of making really shitty references to great bands. Like here, Russell starts talking about ZZ Top. It's like, do you have to bring ZZ Top into this? Do you have to bring ZZ Top into this? What's the need? Is that to show, hey, I know who ZZ Top is, that means our music's good, because logic? No, it doesn't. I mean, we had bloody Avril Lavigne screaming about how she was going to sing to along to Radiohead at the top of our lungs, well, as I say to good luck singing along to Pyramid Song, you bloody pillock. God damn, you know, that's I think just annoys me. Anyway, the rest of the song, it actually has a memorable guitar solo, yeah, it does. Even if the lyrics are, oh god, they are. I mean, as I said, I have a tolerance for how bad lyrics can be. You know, I'm a Whitesnake fan. You know, Whitesnake Slide It In album. You can't get any more euphemistic than that. But still, this just takes bad lyrics to whole new levels. I mean, are you ready for the ride? Grab the wheel and hold on tight. Hit that nitrous suicide. Wow. Wow, Russell Allen. That's so deep. I cry every time. Generic, a little abrasive, and doesn't hold much value. And this song, to me, it actually encapsulates the album quite nicely. It's fun, light-hearted little party anthem. I don't hate it, but I'd rather something a bit more meaningful, something just a little bit more interesting. But they definitely fail to provide anything of, well, note, really, on this album. And then the title track. This is actually quite an innovative song. I have to give it credit. You know, give credit where credit's due. It is innovative into how forgettable it is. I mean, this has to be one of the most forgettable songs I've heard in such a long time. I mean, it's actually taken being forgotten to such new heights. I can't even remember enough about the song to talk about it. So let's not even do that, and let's move on. Crystal Clear. You know what sums this up for me? The lyric that says, it's plain to see what's killing me. I agree. What's killing me is seeing a bunch of talented guys sing alone to the depths of commercial lowest common denominator rock. This is crystal clear. Ha ha ha. Pun intended. Acoustic ballad. It forces the audiences, caters to the not at all discerning rock fan who enjoys anything because they think it's, you know, oh, that's cool, yeah. You know, that type of audience. I mean, this is so bland, it embodies the colour grey. Has Eliza Judgement Day? I've so little to say about this, I'm going to lump them together. Yeah. Oh god, I don't know any more words for bland. I could use a thesaurus, but even then, there's just not enough words that describe bland to describe this album. I mean, Judgement Day, well, Has Eliza just bland? Judgement Day is just flat out bad. I mean, I actually found my ears retching after hearing this. It's just so sonically offensive. Why? Well, probably because I've just lost the words to listen to this tripe any longer, if I'm gonna be honest. Let's finish. We'll talk about the last track, Frontispieces, which is actually surprisingly quite good, I have to say. I mean, it suffers a lot of the tropes of the typical closing power ballads, even some of the reverberated guitar that sounds like it's ripped off Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day from the American Idiot album. Not that that was exactly, you know, the first songs to use reverberated guitar. I mean, reverberated guitar's been around a long way. Look at Rumble by Link Ray and the Raymen in the 50s. What great instrumental that is. Still. Mike's lead lines are actually pretty nice in this song. It's that type of hyper melodic song, and I'm a bit of a sucker for a hyper melodic song. And yeah, Russell's booming voice sort of makes this kind of enjoyable. Like, yeah, it's kind of enjoyable, but overall, just this album is not too great. I have to say I'm quite pleased that Portnoy decided to jump ships, and I think Winery Dogs is far more fulfilling project for him. This is the sort of hard rock project. As Winery Dogs album universally acclaimed. It's a fantastic album. I think it's on Metacritic. I think it has a pretty high score, and most people seem to love that album. They really do, and I certainly do. But this album, you know, I've been very harsh to it, I have to say, but that's because there's so little here to find satisfying. This type of album really doesn't satisfy me anymore. I'm not sure if that's a reflection of the album, or if that's just a reflection of my own tastes, as they've certainly changed since 2012's Omerta, and I don't find that album as satisfying as I previously did. I think I gave Omerta about an 8.5 back in the day, possibly even a 9 in my original review. I really liked it, but now I don't. I'd probably give it a 7. And this album, I have to say, I think is worse. This really is Nickelback, Disturbed, like paint-by-numbers rock. And if you do enjoy that type of thing, if you like really commercial, big choruses, that type of almost, A7X, macho type style to it, then you know what, you'll probably find something to enjoy, and I do recommend checking this album out. But for someone like me who wants something that's just a little bit special, a little bit different, maybe a tad bit innovative, progressive in a sense, or just something that does hard rock really well, just keeps to their own sound, but isn't trying to go for a sound. Here Adrenaline Mob feel like they're trying too hard to go for a sound that they don't need to go for. It's not an awful album, it's just very average. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. Why just over a 5? Well, certain elements like Mike's guitar do give it a slight identity of its own, so that's why I received that extra 0.5. This has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.